Good goes everybody, because they will continue to play Her Lie, Try to Believe extended version. Edition. Let's continue on. Oh man, I remember still. You were so ruthless. You walked up to those girls and started insulting the shit out of them about how you uneducated they are, and about the fact that they were wasting their time and had no future. And then you started listing every achievement Cass had ever accomplished, from the prize you won in some piano competition, I think, to the national ranking that she topped with her academic performance. You know, I'm not the type that would ever hit a girl or anything, but this one was just asking for it. She didn't even try to listen to what you were saying at all and kept on cutting you off, talking about some bullshit that she heard somewhere down the street. How ridiculous, really. This was when I was still very much on edge about losing what I had thought was my only drive in this world. Some bitches were bad-mouthing her, something along the lines of prostitution or some stupid shit like that. It was 2 months after she'd suddenly quit school, so anything goes, I guess. But then, since they had nothing else more useful to do with their sorry little lives, they started some baseless rumors about her cheating during exams or offering sexual bribery to the teachers in order to get a higher ranking in the midterms. That's when I lost my shit, because telling those ridiculous things insinuated that the rival I had always seen as my equal was, in reality, nothing more than a fake, and that was completely unacceptable. And yes, I would have beaten the shit out of them if it hadn't been for a teacher stepping in. Whoa, this guy. He's all in for equal rights, equal lefts. Hey Tim, do you remember what you shouted at her to make her shut up? You do. Enough! Even if she cheated during the midterms or prostituted herself, it wouldn't change the fact that she's way better than a lot of you. At least she achieved everything she ever set out to do. You low-life bitches will never understand the meaning of the term achievement for as long as you still live in this world. Do you understand, you worthless pieces of shit? Damn, bro. I remember it down to the very last syllable. I have no fucking idea why, though. He said it out loud, not nearly as perfectly as I remembered it, but it was still very surprising to hear it from someone else's mouth. I then instantly noticed that she had started to blush the moment she understood the meaning behind those words. This was bad. This was a misunderstanding. I never said any of this to protect her. I only said it because at that moment I knew for a fact that you were head over heels for her, and I found it so tragic that you had probably never had a chance to say it to her. So now you can understand why, when I met her out of absolutely nowhere at my part-time job. He points casually toward her. I had tried and organized something for the both of you. So that's why you invited me here tonight. I was then on my 5th beer, and I was not what we would call a heavy drinker back then, so I was flustered alright, but I don't think people noticed it, as it was probably easily concealed by my wasted features, which were much more prominent than anything else. Yeah man, why else? We're friends, right? You look down all the time, so I thought this might cheer you up. You shouldn't have. Seriously, you shouldn't have, you fucking idiot. The whole time she didn't say anything, she just looked at me silently with what I can probably guess is a light smile on her face. Of course, I couldn't be sure since I wasn't actually reciprocating her stares. Still, I wondered why she kept quiet when we were openly talking about all those things which were directly related to her. Then, oh, that's my girlfriend texting me. Sorry guys, got to go. My useless friend got up to his feet in a hurry. What do you mean? You have a girlfriend? What was this entire date all about then? It was for you two to finally, reunite. Yeah, tonight was for you, man. He walked up to me and laid his hand on my shoulder carelessly before whispering into my ear with his warm and foul breath. Enjoy yourself, will ya? And with this, before another word could leave my mouth, he disappeared in the blink of an eye. Well, he didn't actually disappear, but I was intoxicated to the point where the actions around me were registering in my mind as though in fast forward, life and time were moving rapidly without my consent. This was extremely awkward. In a desperate attempt to end the night then and there, I turned my eyes toward the last remaining couple to ask them what their plans were for the night, but... Hey, have you any idea what the... There was no longer anyone seated next to me. Agitatedly, my eyes scanned my surroundings, and that's when it dawned on me. Only she and I were left at the table. They took off 10 minutes ago, maybe, or it was 15, giggle. For the first time that night, I made eye contact with her. Her face was flushed slightly red, probably due to all the alcohol she'd been hammering. It would have been visible to a blind that she was totally wasted. I didn't want to speak to her. I didn't want to waste another minute in her presence, but social etiquette was forcing me to, at the very fucking least, ensure that she didn't die before reaching her destination. Oh god, this guy. Let's get out of here. I uttered coldly. She accepted right away. She didn't show any kind of fear about being alone with me, even though we were, without a shadow of a doubt, complete strangers. You should take a taxi, I said forcefully, but she quickly dismissed my words and then said cheerfully, "Let's walk for a bit, alright?" I clicked my tongue, but this time I made sure she heard it alright. She didn't seem to mind, or at the very least, if she did, she didn't show it. Man, what is with this girl? Oh, my back. She had a smile plastered on her face ever since we left the bar and was not affected in the slightest by my cold behavior. She looked happy, irritatingly so. We didn't talk at all. This walk she had suggested was made in complete silence. That was fine by me. It was probably for the best, to be honest. I thought for the first time that night that maybe everything would turn out fine after all. Until she accidentally stumbled a bit onto my shoulder. That was... Sorry. Her body touched mine. For the extremely small 2 seconds that it lasted, I felt the form of her breast on my arm, and then my palm of her hand on my shoulder. It was then that I realized she was a member of the opposite sex. Wait, where am I? Oh, there you go. I kind of missed where I was about to read. She looks happy, doesn't she, with the happiness she stole from me? If she hadn't quit school that day, I'm sure her expressions would have been reversed right now. Yet she was always the one with the smile in the end, while we continue walking silently, but somehow we are closer now than I have helped her back onto her feet. Wait a minute, is it just one of those kinds of situations, the one where I walk her to the closest hotel and she's too wasted to understand what's going on? Maybe if I ask her nicely, she would even follow me willingly? Maybe she's still a virgin. Wouldn't that be wonderful? I couldn't satisfy myself by taking away her pride back then, but what about now? I could probably rape her and take everything away from her pride, and most of all, that smile. Jesus Christ, you're going to jail for that. My member starts to become erect at these simple thoughts. It's a bit uncomfortable as my jeans are too tight for it to grow to its full potential. I take another hard look at her. Yeah, what a beautiful body she has. Those hips and those breasts, even her lips seem obscene right now. It would be a total shame for this indecent body of hers to be defiled by a complete stranger. Every inch would be stained, her purity gone forever. She would never have the opportunity to feel clean again. I could probably violate her over and over again until her mind becomes as hollow as mine. Holy shit. I wouldn't be surprised if one of the endings he ended up in prison. Now my manhood has reached its full magnitude. It throbs intensely in anticipation for this forbidden act that my thoughts are drowning themselves in. One simple look at me would have probably given it away, but she's too preoccupied with trying to walk straight to even look in my direction. Imagining the pressure that I have in my pants right now, tainted as it is with the sin of my vile imagination, penetrating her body... penetrating her pure body aggressively over and over again without restraint only pushes me further down this unforgiving path that shouldn't be crossed. But I've already decided, haven't I? I'm already fantasizing about her virginity, increasing by that mean the pain I would most definitely inflict on her. I want to make her cry at the realization of losing something she will never get back. In that moment, I will lick every last tear from her face until she's completely drained out. Holy shit, this is evil. My hand approaches her thigh slowly. If I could get my hand around her to help her keep her balance as an excuse, I could easily control her destination. That moment would seal her fate. Then I would rip that smile from her perfect face. Maybe at the end of the day, I would even be satisfied enough to forgive her. Maybe at the end of the day, I would finally become whole again. My only regret is not acting the part from the start of the night. If I had pretended to be gentle and caring, had laughed with her about how stupid and young we were back then, I could have pushed her even further down the road of complete hopelessness by betraying even her expectations. Her soft voice come to my ears out of nowhere. I abruptly stopped my hand from going any further. I didn't notice because of how captivated I was by her alluring form, but she was looking right back at me, looking at my face of all places. How long has she been looking? I have no idea, but she saw it. That I'm sure of it. My disgusting expression already corrupting every inch of her body with my blank, senseless eyes. She saw everything, yet the only thing she thinks of saying is, "I'm sorry, I knew how much you hated me, yet I..." Then she stumbled on me once again, this time with even less restraint. Her eyes, those eyes I remember, have they really been this way the whole night? It can't be. I stopped brusquely, and she soon followed suit. "Do you have any money?" I asked mechanically. "Not much," she replied blankly, as though knowing the question would be asked eventually. "Can't be helped then." I took out my phone and input a string of numbers in the same mechanical fashion in which I've been handling her the whole night. "What are you doing?" I didn't reply to her. I didn't even look her way. Instead, Yeah, the intersection of stuff and stuff. I put my phone away emotionlessly. "Tim, I thought it would have been nice to talk for a bit. Don't you wanna?" She seems let down. What does this woman want from me? Didn't she see my face just a second ago? Is she that desperate to be raped by some loser like me? I took my wallet out, grabbed two $20 bills, and shoved them into her hand violently. "The taxi will be here in 5 minutes. This should cover the bill." I turn around without waiting for a reply, or saying goodbye for that matter. She doesn't say anything either. She simply looks at me with those eyes. Those eyes which are even colder than mine. Hot diggity dog. God damn it. He was about to commit a crime, chapter 3, but then he was like, nah. An unexpected encounter. He's like, nah, we're not doing this. I don't want to go to jail. This visual novel should be called Intrusive Thoughts. I had hoped never to see her again, and for the better part of 2 years, it turned out pretty much that way. Wow, 2 years. I might have glanced at someone with similar features once or twice during that time, but each time I would go out of my way to avoid that person's path altogether, never taking the risk of an encounter. I had graduated from college, and had been working for a company for less than a year. I focused on my work diligently, the same way I had focused on my studies during my time at school. Even though I didn't have any ambition, the way I did my work mechanically like a machine was apparently something to be proud of. At least that's how my paycheck saw the whole thing. Nice. My life seemed to be pretty much set in stone. I'd even found a girlfriend who could deal with my boring self and my equally boring life, so I had someone to fuck a couple of times a week to dispel my stress efficiently. Damn, he's like a robot. I didn't love her. I think she knew it. Did she simply turn a blind eye, or was she using me for her own benefit too? It didn't really matter though. I don't think she loved me either. Not that I think I would love myself, even if I was forced to. Let me just stretch. Oh, my neck and my back. It was the kind of night I was starting to get accustomed to. That particular client loved to meet in peculiar environments, even if we were only discussing business. Not that he was the only one left for that type of special request. To be honest, it didn't bother me all that much. At the very least, it wasn't as boring as the usual meetings around a conference table. It was my third time, I think, visiting that place. Usually we met on a Tuesday, but because of some unforeseen circumstances, the client had decided that we should meet on the following Thursday instead. It was one of those places that could be attributed to the category of adult entertainment, yet it wasn't the traditional strip club that most people would probably think of when they heard the term adult entertainment. No, this place was a bit more classy, but don't misunderstand me, alright? The theme surrounding this whole establishment was still very much sex indeed, but instead of the description, prostitutes, the woman would bear the name of hostesses, and instead of dancing indecently around a pole, the hostesses entertained their guests by serving food and drinks and by sitting around the guests' tables, listening to their pathetic life stories, all the while having a huge smiles plastered on their faces. Some people might wonder why a business such as this fell into the same category as a strip club, but what you need to understand is that every woman serving there could be bought for the night. The only thing was you needed to pay a premium price, alright? These women were all high quality prostitutes after all. So I was with the client, talking about everything except meaningful topics when the hostess came in. She started off by asking what kind of drinks we wanted, but she became quite agitated right in the middle of her speech the moment our eyes met, probably because she finally realized with whom she was dealing with. Because obviously, it was her. 2 years? Damn, dude. There she was, right in front of me, those eyes, that smile, I could hardly believe it. She was as beautiful as ever, and with the uniform she was wearing, a tight, sexy black dress opening on both sides, it was hard not to think of anything else but sex with looking at her. The dark urges that had taken her 2 years ago, the vulgar and evil passion that had driven my mind completely wild back then, everything that I had felt on that single night was rekindled anew. The woman I had thought might have been a virgin 2 years ago was now working as a prostitute. For how long? Once again, she had made a fool out of me. I had fought those urges as best as I could that night, thinking how wrong it would be to subject such a pure and delicate woman to such evil intentions, when in reality, she was stained from the very beginning. She must have been planning the damn thing even then. She would have forced me to pay after the act, probably. How fucking sly of her, looking down on me like that. Fucking bitch. This time. Oh boy. What a twist. Oh, we paid for our services? Can't we talk for a bit first? She asked, tense out of her mind. A full hour has elapsed since my meeting her at the bar. I had chatted with her for a bit, though not hiding my complete lack of interest toward anything coming out of her mouth, while I licked her with my eyes the entire time in complete lust. I didn't mention her profession. Perhaps she thought I was being considerate of her feelings. Well, I betrayed that thought, all right. After incessant babbling, I simply said to her, "Let's finish the night at a hotel." And that's where we are now. We've literally just taken the first step into the room, and I've already ordered her to take off her clothes. Uh-oh. We've just arrived, she points out. We should drink some wine to loosen up the mood, don't you think? I don't believe this. This cunt has been spreading her legs for a dirty old man for God knows how long, but she's resistant to the idea of undressing in front of me. How long is she going to insult me like this? I don't give a shit about what you think. But, she interjects, a sad expression on her face. I said to undress already. Isn't that fucking clear to you? My frantic shout echoes through the room like thunder. She recoils in sheer surprise, alarmed by my sudden yet predictable animosity. Thankfully, though, the exit is behind me and she can't escape easily. She does as I asked, visibly pained by it, while I continue to defile her with those ever so filthy eyes of mine. I'm so entranced by her every subtle motion that I almost forget how to breathe. Okay, so it's censored, right? Oh, what's this? Is that supposed to be her cute side or something? How disgusting. To my surprise, she's not wearing a G-string or any kind of sexy lingerie. For that matter, no, she was wearing ordinary panties with some ridiculous motifs on them, running shoes or something. Wow, this is a great image. Too bad I can't let you guys see it because, you know, YouTube stuff. Yeah, I wear it because, well, you don't like it? I sneer in an exaggerated manner. She gradually drops her gaze to the ground in embarrassment. This is so much fun. Humiliating her might very well what I needed to finally be able to cope with myself. Oh, but just as those pleasant thoughts are starting to take form in the back of my mind, I finally realized something. She took off her panties, alright, but what is she? Hey, what the fuck are you doing? She avoids my stare by keeping her eyes on the ground, visibly flustered. Stop hiding yourself. I want to see every last part, every filthy centimeter of this slutty body of yours. Aren't you supposed to be proud of it? Show it to every loser you meet for a few empty bucks? Oh, harsh. She's both hiding her breast and her crotch with her arm and hand, as though she's undressing for the very first time in front of a man. How long is she going to mock me like this? I don't want it this way. Not while you do. Huh? I walk up to her enraged. She's telling me that she won't do it with me, that even though she's literally selling her body in shame every single day, she can still refuse me of all people? How fucking insulting. And I was even trying to maintain a minimum of respect. But now... I push her hard down into the bed. She falls onto it without fighting back. But even as she's lying defenseless on top of the bed, she still tries the best she can to hide herself from me, as if I was the most disgusting and vile monster there is. Well, maybe she has a point. I don't know. She has a very strong case here. Enough. I climb onto the bed without hesitation. The fact that she still hasn't cried out for help surprises me immensely, as I, without a shred of doubt, must look extremely terrifying right now. In no time at all, I'm on top of her, desperately trying to pin her down. I finally achieved my goal with no real difficulty the moment I remember that delicacy is not in the dictionary of the monster she thinks of me. It's her own damn fault. She made me who I am. It cannot be helped. She should be asking for forgiveness. If she hadn't laughed at me for all those years, this situation would never have happened. Something in a dark, secluded part of my mind was screaming at me, encouraging me to go even further, to crush her. Alas, with her arms out of the way, I could finally take one good look at her body. No need to explain that at that very moment, my dick was already at its limit and ready to explode. It was hot as fire, waiting with great apprehension for the moment when it could finally thrust itself into her ferociously. My eyes lick her all the way from top to the bottom. From bottom to the top. Her long and delicate legs, that perfectly shaped pussy, her slender arms and stomach, those huge and pale breasts, and then, I'm not used to saying those words, pussy and slut and all that, prostitute. Where was I? Her face without that smile. Her face, which was bright red and contorted into a sorrowful expression. She was crying. Oh, for that. She was, but those were not tears out of fear for life. She didn't beg me to let go of her, or to at least be gentle with her. She was just crying silently as though she had given up entirely. She wasn't scared of me at all. She was disappointed, it seemed. Of me? Of her? Of this situation? I have no idea. But why was I even trying to understand anyway? By this point, I had stopped myself, but why? I don't know. Her behavior enthralled me. I couldn't wrap my head around it. Isn't this what I was wishing for? It was my fantasy, wasn't it? To take away that smile of hers? That happiness? But I realize it only now. There never really was any happiness in that smile to begin with. Our eyes finally met. Those big brown eyes full of distress. I could drown myself in them right now. That's how tearful they are. They are so passionate and... they hold the darkness darker than my own. Oh boy. Noticing the hesitation on my face, she takes the opportunity to murmur something faint, something almost inedible, something incredible. I love you. I've always loved you. What the fuck is this cunt blabbing about? Yet, although I didn't want to hear her bullshit, she kept on opening and closing her mouth as though she was saying intelligible things. I wanted to at least say it to you. I wanted you to know how I feel. I know how much you hate me. It's so easy to see, but I absolutely needed to get it off my chest. Now I'm ready. Just please stop looking so sad. You don't need to go out of your way to make me understand. You don't need to act anymore. She isn't scared at all. I'm nothing to her. Those eyes are telling me this. I started laughing dryly like a maniac. She continuously harassing me, even when the one on top is obviously me. She's seeing through me with ease. I was never a match for her. I let go of her emptily and get off of the bed slowly, before turning away from her in complete defeat. Still, I was laughing like a broken record. I was laughing. Yeah. I tried to speak, but I guess I'm not totally prepared for it yet. I took a deep breath and then tried another time. Get out. There's no use anymore. All I'd ever wanted was for her to feel as hopeless as I did. But now that I've seen it, now that I've understood that her hopelessness is even greater than my own, there's no point in doing any of this anymore. There's nothing left for me to take away from her anymore. There never was anything for me to take away from her in the first place. How fucking pathetic. I don't wanna, she said with a decisiveness in her voice, and even though I didn't have the courage to face her anymore, I still knew what kind of expression she was wearing. Get out, you fucking bitch! At that, she laced her slender arms around me from behind. Her embrace was awkward, the kind of hug only inexperienced teenage boys would give, uncomfortably, to their first girlfriend. Yet in that hold, I felt that strength with which she tackled every problem she had ever faced. I felt that determination with which she dominated anyone foolish enough to get between her and her goals. How irritating. I turned around violently, taking her perfect face roughly in my left hand, investing strength into my hold, and pushing her against the wall next to us, all the while making sure she feels pain with every motion I make. Don't you understand? If you stay here, I'll break you. My face was extremely close to hers. I could have literally eaten her all up right then and there, but she didn't flinch. She didn't even look away from my fully dilated pupils. She didn't show any sign of pain, even though she was definitely feeling some, I'm sure. She was now showing me her true self for the first time in all these years. And at that very moment, that's exactly what I want you to do. Holy shit, she wants you to break her? What the fuck? I was the one who was frightened. Yeah, same here, dude. What is she on, man? Chapter 4. The explanation I didn't need. Holy shit, this is fucking tense. I can't believe I'm sweating over this. I don't remember much about that night, or maybe I just don't want to remember. The only thing I can say for sure is that there was something I found out about myself that day. Something I probably shouldn't have found out. Oh, my bag. As I was about to leave the hotel, it must have been around 5 the next morning, Cassandra stopped me casually and said, I want you to come back next week, alright? My reply to that was, not a chance, idiot. Nevertheless, she flashed me a bright, truthful smile. I wonder if she knew that I was gonna go back. I wonder if she knew she already had me. God damn. After that night, I met her on the same day. Once a week, we'd drink together at the bar where she was working, and then we'd always finish the night at the same hotel. It must have been around the 3rd week that I finally decided to ask her about it. So, what's up with the prostitution stuff? As always, she was speaking to me at great length just after having had sex. I was sitting on the corner of the bed, half-heartedly listening to her stupidities while sucking on a cigarette. Yeah, I was a smoker by then, got the habit out of nowhere, probably to look even more pathetic than I already was. We should go see it together. They say it's the movie of the decade. What, Twilight? I mean, sure, it's fun to make fun of it. Shut up, I said brusquely as a reply. Yeah, I wonder if you'd pay for my ticket. I bet you would. You're that kind of man after all. Giggle. She was laughing and smiling like always. At first I thought that she would stop acting so childishly after she had finally showed me her true self, but she betrayed my expectations. She was exactly the same whether we were alone or not. Wait, let me just drink my coffee real quick. Oh my god, I hope there isn't a fly here because I saw from my peripherals something flew past me. Okay, cool, let's go. The only time she behaved any differently was when we were having sex. She would fix me in the eyes with that eerie, frightening passion of hers. Normally, you would think I was the only one who was called involved in this relationship of ours, but when we were having sex, she could very well be seen as disturbed as I was. Ooh, yeah, I can't do the... I can't do that. The way Dave Draymond, I think, can do that intro for Down with the Sickness. I wondered then why she was always smiling. Was it fake or was it in some way genuine? Even I, who probably understood her better than anybody else, had no idea. How could someone as empty as her smile so truthfully like this? I wanted to know so badly, but why? Why did I even associate with the likes of her? It's not as if my feelings had changed all that much. Since the first time I had laid my eyes on her, I still very much hated the things she embodied, and yet I kept coming back. I didn't understand myself anymore. Perhaps I didn't want to understand, but I needed to know more than anything. So without thinking too much about it, I asked her something out of interest for the first time since almost forever. I asked her something I wish I hadn't. How did you end up this way? She was surprised. Obviously, I'd cut her off while she was in the middle of talking, but her surprise didn't come from that fact. She looked at me and smiled silently for a time, but not with that smile. It was a smile as if she had won something, a smile as if there was hope somewhere, somehow. I think she was just genuinely happy, or maybe there was something in that smile that I didn't understand back then. All I knew was that she had been waiting for that question. Hey, new image. She told me her tale, some stereotypical bullshit I didn't want to hear. I I sharply listened anyway. Her father had a lot of money when she was younger. She was some kind of successful businessman or investor or whatever. I didn't listen all that well, to be honest, but he had enough money to get by. That was the term she used, whatever that meant. And in 5th grade, out of nowhere, Cassandra started showing a lot of interest in her studies, so much so that she was at the top of her class every year that followed. Because he noticed her growing up to become such an outstanding woman, her father decided to invest in her by paying her for later education. Some kind of prestigious university or something like that. I didn't even know you could pay for such a thing so early in the game. Anyway, now for the plot twist. Her father pretty much lost everything trying to invest in some real estate bullshit. Wrong time, wrong place. That's what they always say anyway. So sure enough, now that he was as poor as shit, he started thinking about the investment he had made in his daughter. The problem was that an investment like that takes a really long time to pay off. That and the fact that it's your fucking daughter, you piece of shit. She deserves at least that much. But anyway, he kind of started mistreating her by blaming his sorry ass on her failure to graduate sooner. Then the fucker got his feet even dirtier by gambling away the little he had left to subsist on. In the end, drum roll, she was forced to quit school and to start working. At least the good man, to whom her father owed money, was kind enough to offer a high-paying job she literally couldn't refuse. Damn, and that was pretty much it. Now for a test of my fucking conscience, would she still have ended up like this if I hadn't started pushing that ideal of rivalry on her? Or better yet, even if she did, could I have done something for her? I mean, in high school, I had kinda noticed that something was off but did nothing whatsoever to help her. So was it my fault? Maybe, and so what? It didn't affect me the slightest. Damn, bro, you're too blunt. Not in the slightest. Yeah, keep telling yourself that. Yet I still wish I hadn't asked her about it. One of the last things he used to say to me before he died was, "You're the golden egg that never hatched. The definition of useless." I got to my feet. I need to go now. I said detachedly, though I didn't really need to. What? That was fast? But I want to be with you, and you paid for the whole night, and... She was sulking, puffing out her cheeks like a child. If I weren't an asshole, would probably have found her behavior cute, but my only thought to that was... Ooh. Choices, but I'm gonna have to end it here, because I have to prepare for work now, so this is Her Lie I Try to Believe Extended Edition. If you want to try to get for yourselves, the links are in the description. That is all for today. Stay safe and take care of yourselves. God, this writing is unbelievably good and highly entertaining. There's so much hatred in the writing, man. It's so great.